Hello out there. Uh,
Reclined.
this is a little late in the day, but I'm alive,
Yay.
so there's that update. And today is an anime of the day, which would be Record of Lodoss War, which I still think grammatically is so not correct.
And that's all.
However, it is a pretty good story.
Yep.
Anyways,
Thoughts.
it's about a hero named Parn and his ragtag bunch of pretty much D&D characters. That was Parn. The girl in his arms is an elf named Deedlit.
Yeah, basically, this show is a Japanese rendition of Dungeons and Dragons because it's actually based on a bunch of famous actors, actresses, and science fiction fantasy writers playing a D&D campaign. And one of them was like, this would be a great thing for a book. So they wrote a big series of novels on it. And eventually became an anime. It was kind of like Japanese Lord of the Rings for, oh my god, they're making a feature. The original is 13 episodes. And then it's kind of like a storybook where they have all the description on the back here. And if you open up the case of the DVD, it continues. So that's pretty cool.
Can you tell he's excited?
Super excited.
Anywho, it's about a boy named Parn who needs to stop the bad guy from doing bad things and summoning a Dark Lord and, typical stuff.
Yes, if you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, you are the archetype hero who was just hanging out in a small village, and there's some jackass who wants to, sacrifice the entire world to Satan or something like that.
Or in this case, his elf girlfriend, Deedlit.
Yep. And that was an original anime, the first series, and then the second one, Record of Lodoss War, Chronicles of Heroic Knight. This one is based off of the series once it's all been completed and they had more money to do things.
Yes, the beginning is kind of a retelling of the ending of the first one, and then it continues on. So, we still have our Deedlit and Parn. They're a little bit more in love in this one. And then you move on to a second generation of kids.
Yes, and it's cool to see Parn in this one because after they moved to the second generation, he's gone from being this 16-year-old punk who's terrible at sword fighting to being the greatest hero in all the land that all the young knights want to be like.
Yep.
Also Dark Elves.
Yes, it introduces Dark Elves and a whole new messed up set of needing to stop the Dark Lord summonings. So,
Yes. If you like fantasy anime like Slayers and want a more serious bend, or you like Dungeons and Dragons and fantasy movies in general, this would definitely be something that you would enjoy.
and in the Chronicles of the Heroic Knight, at the end of it, they have a little short,
Lodoss Island.
yes, Lodoss Island, where they have little chibis. So, it's adorable.
Yeah, it's like a little 2 to 4 minute cartoon where they make fun of themselves.
Yeah, they recap what happened in the episode, but stupid. Which, I have my favorite phrase from that, which is, Papa Parn. It's stupid.
Yes, yes it is.
But it's so cute. And then they discuss that Deedlit being an elf, you don't know how old she is. So.
And one of the life lessons that you will learn through this series is that if you're ever fighting a dragon, its eyeballs will explode if you're winning.
It was one of those weird things where we watched this and like, wow, every dragon they fight, they burst its eyeball, which is weird. And then you go back and watch like the Urn of Sacred Ashes trailer for Dragon Age, and they pop its eyeball.
It's the only way to put them down for sure.
It's so weird. Whatever.
It's just weird how it's so hard to talk about the series properly.
You're the only one having trouble talking about it.
Oh,
You weren't made for the camera.
I guess not. It's just so great.
You're not talking about all the classes, all the people, all their interactions, dwarves sacrificing themselves for the love of their lives.
Yes, there's only one dwarf in the first series. His name is Gim, and he is epic. And totally not based on Gimli at all. The second series, there's another dwarf. I believe he's a warrior priest, pretty much.
Oh, yeah, he has that weird bowl cut, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a warrior priest of Myri, so the god of war. And he actually is serving the good guys, whereas this other priest, who's a priest of war, just hanging out, doing all the good things, and one of the main bad guys shows up at his place, and he's like, "You should join my army of evil." He's like, "I shouldn't do that because you're evil. But there's going to be a war where I'm going. And I suppose my god would approve of that. I'm totally sold on this."
Of course. Why not?
Yes. So probably my favorite character would be Orson the Berserker, who in the first series is so epic and scary and throwing his sword everywhere, murdering people. And in the second series,
He's so tragic.
it's so tragic. He's like trying to deal with the spirits of rage inside of him.
It's like Waterfall.
Yep.
Tries to give up the spirit, but he has to take it back in order to save the person he loves. There's a lot of people in love sacrificing things.
Yes.
It's a common theme in fantasy.
Like, these two. They're technically supposed to be together, but like many anime tropes, the boy is oblivious and the girl gets pissed off a lot.
Though, funny story, the love story was added after the fact. Because in the
Yes.
original D&D campaign, they hated each other. And then Parn, was killed, and she looted his body and stole all of his stuff.
Yes. So I'm glad that the light novel version turned out a bit less comical. Definitely dark, though.
Yes. And I have totally not based any of my D&D characters off of any of these people, so...
Ever.
Ever. I don't have a few Puritesses out there. I don't know if I have any Deedlits. Maybe. Probably.
Yeah.
I do have, what's her name? The purple-haired healer. Nope.
Oh. Niece?
Is it Niece? Not the one from Chronicles, the one from
Oh.
her mama. Anywho.
It'll come to me one day.
Well, we need to go. We have 8 pounds of Halloween candy, so
I remembered. Lelia!
there you go.
I just had to remember Gim crying it. They've got a thing.
Had a thing.
Had a thing.
Yeah.
Got possessed by a evil ancient witch being.
Mostly a tiara.
Yeah. And like Lord of the Rings, there's lots of epic clashings of armies of the good humans and the creepy ass monsters.
And where else do you get to have a king named Cashew?
Yeah. Emperor Beld, King Fawn, Ato the priest, who just happens to be Parn's best friend.
Ashram.
Yes, Ashram, who is like one of the best anime bad guys ever, because unlike so many other anime bad guys where they like have a change of heart and they're like, well, I used to be evil at the beginning of the series, but now I'm teaming up with you because reasons. And then they just flow straight into good. Ashram is always evil, but he's also noble at the same time. It's freaking weird.
Because he's not evil.
I know, he's just fighting to get his people off Tasmania.
If you follow the story and all that, and watch, what was that? There was that terrible other series we watched, or movie.
Legend of Crystania?
Yeah, about his people or whatever, and...
Yes, there is a sequel movie and series called Legend of Crystania. Avoided at all cost.
Yes, all you need to know is he's doing bad things for a good reason.
Conquer all the kingdoms. It'll bring world peace.
Yes, it will.
It's kind of like the plot of Save Marionette J, except Faust was indeed a dick.
The original one wasn't.
Yeah.
But we digress. Watch Record of Lodoss War.
It's probably hard to find nowadays, but I'm sure DVD exists out there.
Well, it's worth at least going to YouTube and watching a few clips of it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's on there.
Well, yeah, I looked up how long intros and stuff were.
So, the opening theme song in English is great.
Yeah, he's obsessed with it.
Super obsessed. It really hits that 90s anime music. It's also one of the few 90s anime musics that's not a dance number.
True, it is a love ballad. So. But we should go, because I'm obviously tired.
See y'all later.
Bye.